This is Mary at the.meri.atelier, and I am doing an unlisted stream off of my mobile device. I had an issue with the reconnection. I don't know, it could be the weather, it could be my internet. This is the first time since I've been going mobile lately that I had this issue. I'm blaming my internet provider. Okay, but anyway, I'm going to do day 4 and day 5. Now, day 4 is to watercolor any object that you want and to splatter it when you're done. Day 5 is to watercolor any object, but you only use 5 colors or less. So for day 4, I'm going to watercolor these scissors and my carving tools, just like that. I should probably just use the scissors. Maybe I'll get the carving tools out of the way. That's a little bit more of a challenge than I want to do online. Let's just do the scissors, and we'll just do them like this, and then I'll splatter them. And then for day 5, where I use 5 colors or less, I'm going to use these ribbons. So let's zoom in a little. And because I had a reconnection issue, I'm going to get out my tablet here and follow my stream and see if I have another issue or not. Let's see. I'll be able to tell if I set it over here. I'm going to use these brushes, and probably, maybe I'll sketch with this Stabilo pencil. I'll sketch with this Stabilo pencil. I've got one person looking here. Can't be me, can it? I know it's unlisted. Oh well. And I've got some water. I found my water. So, I got more than one here. And I'm using Jane Davenport watercolors here. I think these are the brights. I'm going to activate them here. Or these are the earth tones. No, these are the brights. Let's just activate them. And you probably won't see them. They'll be out of the viewing off camera. And these are the earth tones here. Or neutrals. I'm not sure what she calls them. I call them earth tones, or kind of neutrals. And I'm going to set those, put my water over here and set these up here too. That may not be a good idea. Let's set them over here. Set my scissors. I'm going to have to rearrange. Okay, let's go ahead and open this up. This is my wipe off page. I don't know if I'll be using that. I want to, but I'm going to clip these pages as I work on them. This is Penelope and Pierre. And in between here is my hand. I taped it closed. Oops. And while I'm working on this, let's just grab a little clip here and put this clip right here. I could put it the other way for you, like that. And I'll be working on this. So I have a big bulldog clip that I'm going to clip the bottom page with. So I'll be working like that. Let's see. Let's put something on there. Maybe my water bottle. That'll hold it pretty good. Okay. Now I can see off over to here. I can see my screen, so I can tell if I get a reconnection issue or not. If I do, I'll just stop it and restart it. All right, so let me sit down and pull myself up to my desk, and I'm going to sketch my scissors. And let's see, I don't need these right away. So I'm going to sketch them here in the horizontal. this like this because I'm getting glare on my screen. I'm getting glare on my screen. I'm fixing my screen, so I'm still getting glare. I guess I'm going to have to put it over here. I'm going to have to put it over here. All right, I'm just adjusting things off camera so that I can sketch. Alrighty. And you'll see my scissors here and my paper here. And I'm just going to do a quick sketch of these scissors. It does not have to, maybe I'll open them just a little. So these scissors are mainly red and black with a lot of paint smeared on them. A lot of splatters. And I'm just going to do a quick sketch with my, this is not a Stabilo, this is a Faber-Castell watercolor pencil. So it acts like a Stabilo, and it will blend in as I watercolor here. So let's do the scissors this way, and it's kind of got a rounded piece here. Oh, I knocked them here. Yeah, coming this way. We're going to round them off. And we got the little screw top in here. And the blades comes off this way. Like that. And round it off like this. And this is another red handle coming over this way. And then I can see the inner part in here. And the side here, you probably aren't seeing that because you're looking top down. I'm looking more from the side. And I'm seeing a shadow in there. I'm seeing some shadow in here. There's the other blade coming this way, and the scissors are sort of open like that. So they're sort of like that. Does not have to be perfect. Does not have to be perfect. So my tabletop is gold, so I think I'm going to go with some yellows. We'll just do some yellows in here because I like to. And I'm just kind of sketching with my brush. I'm just kind of filling it in because the object here is splatter. The object here is splatter. Let's add some darker gold in here. Yeah. So it doesn't have to be anything that takes you. The jam journals, I really did mean for them to be 15 minutes or less. These may be taking a little bit more. Ooh, orange, Mary. Okay, we'll do orange. Let's do some of that down in here then too. That'll look pretty if I splatter on that. Now let's get some more of that goldish yellow in here. And I'm just kind of doing it really fast. It does not have to be something that on my hands, I really studied them a lot more. And of course, in the center, we can't forget the center. And I can see sort of a shadow in there. I'll have to come back and put that in. And a shadow going on in here too. So, yeah. Does not have to be something that you spend hours and hours on. And I should be doing the wipe off thing here. Let's see if I can get over and do that. Did I? What am I doing here? I clipped it down. I'd like to show you the wipe off. although I don't have a lot on my brush because I washed it off. All right, and every time I do that, I'm going to have to unclip it. All right, all right, all right. I'm going to leave that up there. All right, so now let's get a little bit smaller brush. That's a little bit larger. Let's go with this one, which is a little smaller, and I'm going to do the reds. Reds are kind of dirt. Well, you know, excuse me, but I didn't get all of this done to my liking. Yeah. And I may come in and do some more because my desk is really spotty and dirty. So let's just, this is really a darker red down in here. And then it kind of creeps up a little. And there's kind of a piece in there. If I can just bring that around. And my hand kind of gets shaky. I'm sorry. My hand gets a little shaky. And let's, I'm going to take this clip off. It's bothering me. And let's some of that red off there. So I don't want to bring it a little water in there. A little light red in here. More of a red wash up on the top here, which is really what I wanted in there. Let me get a towel. I'm not happy with this. There, I'm happier with it. Took a little of that red off. And let's go with a little blue in that red and make it dark in here. Just make it a little dark in there. And a little blue coming off over this way. And here I'm just kind of sketching with my brush. I'm kind of sketching with my brush. I'm doing quick strokes. I'm not trying to do anything really fantastic here. Let's see, it's got a little, you can see a little of it coming down this way and going up around there. Let's get rid of this again. Off of my brush. I'm going to come back in and do some more red. Red in here. Yeah. Just kind of do quick strokes to make these shadows in here, the shadow of the red coming around this way. And quick stroke in there. And sometimes my hands get a little shaky when I'm doing that. But after I go in with the shadow, I think, there's my brown that I was looking for. Let's hit it with a little red and, yeah. Let's go in with some shadow in here, maybe. Now, that needs a little more blue. Sometimes I'll go back over here just to see what color I have on my brush. I'm not sure that's the color I want, but that's the color it's going to be. And we want a shadow under here and a shadow in there. and a shadow up in here, which is a little bit darker, maybe a little bit darker blue in there. There's a shadow in there, a little bit of a shadow in here, and a little bit of a shadow coming this way. And my red kind of ran in there. Okay, I might go back in with the yellow again. So now I'm ready to do the grays and the blacks here. Let's just... and you can hit it with your hand if you're not happy with it. I want a little bit lighter color in there. Kind of lift some of that color. And let's do the blade down here. Grab some water. Now this blade is on the top, so this blade really comes like, if I can get a hold of it here, comes like this. And I just kind of paint that in there. I can't see what I'm doing for the... And yeah, you can kind of go around that, Mary. And then this kind of comes underneath, but it's got some lighter tones in there. And let's go in and hit this with some darker colors in there. Some water. And then let's go in with some brighter colors. Maybe lift that a little. Let's go back to my larger brush here. That's not too clean in there. But you know, my desk isn't clean. My desk isn't clean. How can my watercolor be clean if my desk isn't clean? And I am really just doing more of a fast sketch than anything. Doing a fast sketch. And that's really all I want to do is a fast sketch. And let's see if I can't even out these scissors a little more. I'm kind of happy with them, to tell you the truth. I'm not unhappy with them. Now, let's take care of this a little bit more in here. And kind of put that in there and bring this blade out. And this has got black around in here. And I can see the black underneath of there. And maybe a black line there and there. Yeah. Now, am I happy with that? I don't know. Let's hit this with some darker red in here. And no matter what you do, when you leave your watercolor on your pan, after I've mixed these colors, I can reconstitute them and use them again in another painting. Now I see a shadow under this scissors, but I don't know if I can get back at that. Let's see if I can get the shadow in there. Ooh, that's kind of neat. Let's just let that kind of come this way and over here. And it kind of falls in there. Let's do that again with a little bit more color on it. And let's wash out my brush again. And the reason I'm washing out my brush there is that I really want I want a red wash. I want to do a red. Yeah. Now, you know how fond I am of this on the edges here. I need a bigger brush. Let's go back to my larger brush. Let's do some more up in here to kind of close that in, but I noticed on my hand I closed it in, but I didn't blend it in up in here. I had very definite areas and I want it more blendy. And I am putting a lot of color on my page. A lot of watercolor artists will not do that, but I do. I think I'm done. I really do think I'm done. Except for the splatter. Now, to splatter, I don't want to get my page all messy. So let's get out some sheets of wax paper. Let's hit it with the heat gun first. I get the water out of the way. Kind of come up a little, yeah, so you can see it better. That's a little better. Let's hit it with the heat gun. That was just really a quick scissor sketch. And I guess I did draw it with my pencil first. It's not perfect, but it's quick. Yeah. And most watercolor artists will let it air dry. I don't have time for that. Don't have time for it. I'm going to splatter it with a dark red, I think. A maroonish dark red. Yeah. I could splatter it with blue, but no, let's splatter it with a dark red. So I'm going to cover this up in here. Let's take the clip off and lift my book up a little. You probably can't see the whole thing, but put the clip back on. And then I want to protect this. There we go. That's pretty good. I think I'll put this clip back on it if I can. Oops, it's getting away from me. Come on. Wax paper is slippery. There. Pull this down just a little. Okay. So I'm going to use, I should use a fan brush. I have a fan brush here. I have a fan brush. And what I want is a dark color. And you aren't going to see it till I get it on there. and I'm getting it really juicy on in my pan. I'm going to leave that on the brush and come back to it. And let's get a hold of it here. Now let's see if I can. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Can you guys see it? I don't know if you can see it. I can see it. I'll show you close up in a minute. Let's do it some more. Can I get a big splatter? Yeah, that's good enough. So let's take this off. And I'm going to come back over here. I'm going to wash off my brush. I don't think there's much on there. There's not much on there. This is an old craft, but it's really good for splatters. It's really good for splatters. Okay, so now let's take that brush I said I'm just going to put over here. Was it this one? Yeah. Get some of that color off of it. Alrighty. I think I'm done with that one. Let's take this wax paper off. And let me stand up and see what you guys are seeing. Let me hold it up so you can see the splatter. Can you see the splatter on there? Wasn't that fun? So I'm going to call that done. Now the next one is nothing really fancy dancy. It's just use 5 colors or less. So let's get my scissors out of the way. And I'm going to put wax paper back underneath of this. And I'll leave this alone. I'll clip it again. If I can find my clip. There it is. We'll clip it. Well, I'll clip it for a little bit. That clip flew, but I caught it. All right. So, ooh, you aren't seeing anything but the. I need to move the camera down so you can see my bottom page here. So I'm going to tilt the camera a little. Hold on, here we go. There. So you can see the bottom page. I'm going to fold this under too. I'm going to empty my dirty water. Kind of wipe out my little dish here and squirt some more water in it. That's good. All right. And my watercolors are already activated from doing this page. So what I'm going to do next with 5 colors or less is this ribbon, these ribbon spools. So let's choose my 5 colors. I'll need black and rose and green. 3 colors there, black, rose, and green, maybe a little yellow. White will just, white, we're not counting white as a color because it will just be, I'm not going to use white. Well, I might tone down my rose a little. I might have rose and pink. That will be 2 colors. And 2 colors of green and the black and the white. Oh, well, the green I might, the rose I might just wash out a little. I might count the rose as a dark and then a variegated. So let's count that as 1. The green is 1. The black is 1. That's 3. And then I'm coming over here and I've got some yellow tones in here. So, and then the blue on this one. The blue on this one. Shall I sketch this one first? That's the question. Now you are not going to see it. You are not going to see it as I see it because you're looking top down and I'm looking this way. And I'm going to move it up a little. Yeah. So you're looking top down on it. And I'm not. I'm looking side view. I'm looking for my pencil. So let's get busy and sketch it. In fact, I would like to have this kind of slanty a little bit more like that for me. And let's get my painter's tape. And ignore the painter's tape, because that's not going to be a part of the, that's maybe too much. Let's do an ink pad. Yeah. So ignore the ink pad. I just put it there so that I can see the designs a little bit more of the ribbon. And let's see, I have to figure out what I want, because I've got 2 spools here and 1 here. Let's do this one. It's a little bit lower. As I'm looking at this spool is a little bit shorter. So let's start it in here and in there, and the ribbon here, and this comes around maybe like that. And this one is higher. So this one comes up above it like that. And don't be afraid to go fast with this, because this pencil will all blend in. The pencil will all blend in. So don't be afraid to make some mistakes on this. Just as if you're working on your watercolor. And if you're sketching it in. Like, I think I want more ribbon over here. And this will be rounded, and there'll be some flowers up in here. And there's a center hole maybe right in there. And up into here. And this one comes like this. And then there's one underneath here. You can't forget that one, Mary. And it kind of comes like this. And this one kind of comes above, and this one kind of falls under, like that. And then this one, you can hardly see it, except for I know there's a streak of blue in there. And then there'll be, this one kind of comes around, and then this will all be gold, and this will be gold on my tabletop, and there's a big center hole in there. Maybe not quite that big. And this comes out. And then there's the pretty ribbon wrapped around it. And wrapped around this. And there's a hole in there. Okay, I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm not having any issues with my laptop. So, where's my bulldog? Let's clip him down. Can I clip him down here maybe? Maybe I need another one of those little ones. I don't know if it'll help. These are kind of weak. He might snap off on me. Yeah, I don't trust him. I don't trust him. I trust the bulldog. There we go. There we go. I'm happy with that. Now, I want to do the background first. This area is kind of a cream color. I might make it a rosy color, though, because I can only use 5 colors. So let's go pick out my colors. Shall we do it? Well, let's do it right on the page. So what I want is, let's pick out my 5 colors. I want a rose. So we're going to put a rosy color in here. A dark, and then I'll just let it variegate to a light color around it for the roses. So that's one color. Let me wash off wipe off my brush. Just wipe off my brush. Look at that pretty rose. Ooh, that's a pretty color. Now you can wash it out. Alrighty. So there's one color. It's the rose and the variegation. And then I want a green. And the green is kind of a sagey green. Let's just put a little green in here. Well, that's more of a gray. I'm sorry, that's not green, that's gray. Let's get rid of that. No grays. Oops, we'll leave that. We'll leave it. Let's get rid of my gray on here. Wash that out. Let's see if I can lift that a little. It's just an oops. It'll all fall in. Okay, we want green. And I only have one green. And it's a bright green. So I'm going to mix it with a little bit of a bluish color here. And make it a darker green. Sort of like that. And then it'll have a wash. A lighter green. Let's lift. Sort of like the lighter green in there. There. And let's get rid of that. Because we're going to move on to... So that's 2 colors. And on this one over here, we're going to have some of that pretty yellow. Yeah. Some yellow and light yellow. Get rid of that on here. Oops, I should probably put this one back in. I don't know, Pierre might be getting some red faces there if I don't. Okay, now, and black. And I always have trouble figuring out which one is my black. That's brown. I think this is my black. So we want some blacks. Yeah. My black is not a pure black, I don't think. I kind of have to... There. Kind of a blackish... Well, that's more of a purple. I don't know if she has... That's good enough, though. It's a dark. So I've got 4. And then on here, let's get rid of the black, brownish black. It's more of a dark brown, but it's dark on there, so I'm happy with it. Let's get rid of that. And then I want the pretty blue down in here. So those will be my 5 colors: the yellow, the black, the rose, the green. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this will kind of be a cream color. So I'm going to take the yellow and mix it with the red a little. And I'll have this will be a muted yellow. I should probably mute this out a lot more here. Let's just lift a little of that because it's not really that bright in there. There. And it's a dark yellow. I'll put the dark yellow in there, maybe with the reds. Because I like that. I like that yellow and red together. So let's do that first. And I'll just fast sketch it in there. Here again, this is not meant to be masterpiece art. This is meant to be use 5 colors. And let's do that down in here. Up in there, up in here. Just kind of sketching in my background. Like that. And it'll come around. Let me get a hold of it again here. It'll come around in there. Like that. Maybe like that. And down in here. And that just kind of quickly blocks in my background. I'll probably come back and work on it a little bit more. All right, let's get that off of my brush. Look, I'm only on day 4 and I guess I'm going to have to put another page in there to hold my wipe off. All right, so this I want See how yellow, how creamy that is? I'm going to go for that again. Kind of like a really light, creamy color in there. Just kind of cream it down a little. And this is kind of a white, but it's got some shadow going on. And I could even use my pencil line as the shadow. And the same here. There's some shadow. And I'm really just kind of blocking, bringing that color in. Now this is a blackish gray in there. So I'm going to use that black, but I'm going to tone it down a little. More of a blackish brown around in here to just block it in. I'm blocking in my colors right now. And there's a really dark hole in there. And that's really probably a Payne's gray. I don't think I really have a black. I lost track of the color key on these. I guess I could go find it out, but I don't really care. And we're going to do this. And I'm not going to put, there's red ribbon up here. And there's some price tags on there. I'm not putting those on. That's not my focus right now. My focus right now is just to get the shape of the spools. I guess I could put one little price tag up in here, maybe. And that could come in a little more. And if I find if I move fast, my hands don't, sometimes my hands kind of shake. And they move in ways I don't want them to move. All right, we want some shadowing going on down in here. And because I have my ink pad lifting up my spools, I'm not seeing that too much. But we got some shadowing going on in here. And we've got that grayish rose color going on in here. And that's going to be mixed with the black. And it's sort of a green. It's really kind of pretty. It's kind of a rosy, dark rosy organza type ribbon. And it fades out into yellows and greens. I'm going to use some more of this pretty rose color. That's this color right here that I'm doing. But it's mixed with that. And it actually comes down around in there. Down in here. And let's get rid of what's on my let's just put that there. See, there's a lot of color on my brush. All right. So I want some subtle yellows in there. And maybe some greens on my green here. Kind of some greens off in there, off in there. And it's really, it's watercolory, so I'm going to kind of hit it with the water. It's subtle. And I could probably lift there too, but maybe I will. Lift a little. I might have too much water on that. Let's do a lift. I'm liking that. Okay, and let's put a little more of that rosy color in here. That rose is really pretty. And maybe up around in here. And a little bit more of the pretty green. Oops, there goes a brush off on the floor. There's some greens that kind of happen in here too. They're not that vivid. And here again, I'm using my brush to kind of draw with here. I did use the pencil, but now let's go back in with that. I used that yellow. I used that dark yellow, and that's what I'm going to go back in with on my, and I mixed it with the red. That's how I'm getting, I mixed that rose and yellow together. And that's how I got this pretty orangey color. I used both the yellow and the red. There we go. I'm kind of liking that. All right, let's do the same. That rose color is really pretty. Let's put it around in here. And this has another spool in there. Just has a touch of blue in there. Yeah, rose. That rose color. It's just, I love it. All right, now let's go for the blacks again, because there's really a lot of black, and I have trouble. I really have trouble figuring out which one is my black, and I don't think there really is a black. I think it's more of a Payne's gray, a dark blue Payne's gray, and that's what we're going to do here. And I was going to leave a price tag there. And let's let that little shady, this little edge show there, and maybe kind of outline that, and let this kind of come down this way, and this kind of come around like that. Well, that might be a little too small, but that's the way it is. I'm not going to ruin it. I'm not going to mess with it and ruin it. The size here, I guess I could mess with it a little, like that. I'll mess with it a little. There, make that base a little bit bigger. Okay, so in here, this is all black, but I need to, and this part's the cream color, this is black. So we can kind of put a center spool hole in here. And let's get rid of my black on here. I guess I don't have that much on there. Let's go to a different size brush. And let's do some of the roses and leaves on here. So there's kind of a rose in here, and one off over this way. Kind of one down here. And a really light pinkish one. If I can do the wash in there. Kind of like some little pinkish rosy things in there. And then the greens. Dark black with that. The greens kind of come in here. That might be too dark. Yeah, I need more water. Kind of like little green leaves in here. And yeah, I'm liking that. And I'm going to put a little bit of yellow in there. There's just a teeny bit of yellow. Every now and then I see a little yellow flower. Maybe put one up in there. One up in here. Now I'm going to go in with the black, which I think is, like I said, I think it's really a Payne's gray. It kind of comes this way, and it kind of fills in all this. In here, it's really a black ribbon is what it is, with beautiful flowers on it. So it kind of comes this way. And all this is black in here, dark black. Yeah, I think I'm getting it. Put some blacks in here. And let's let this, if I can, smooth it out a little. Like that. Yep. I think I'm happy with that. Let's put some black, darker black in here, around in there. Now, so now I'm going to grab some gray off of my, dirty gray off of my palette, and call it a black tone, because this needs to be kind of in shadow, and I'm going to lift. Kind of lift it there. Oops, I'll have to go back in and fix that. But then there's this beautiful blue. You can just barely see it here. It's kind of tucked in underneath of that. And I could put some of that beautiful blue up in here just to accent this ribbon. Or maybe down in there where I just kind of accent it. I kind of like that. Little artistic license in here. Some blue in there. Maybe some watery blue in here. Lift a little. Yeah, I kind of like that. Now I want to go back to my grays, which is more of a brownish gray. And if I mix a little of that gray with that yellow, what will happen? I have to find a clean spot to do it. No. I want it wetter than that. Yeah. And then I think, let's go back in with that dark black in here. I like that. Or Payne's gray, whatever it was, it needs to be defining this a little bit more. And I think I need to hit it with my pen now to do some ink work on it. I think I'm pretty happy with that. Let's get rid of this. let's set my watercolors aside for a minute. My brushes aside, get them out of my way, and let's hit it with the heat gun. I dropped the brush on the floor. Oops. Oops. You might see camera jiggle a little. So you can see when I watercolor, I tend to use a lot of color. Now, I'll have to do a prompt just for me where I don't use so much color on my page. Just to stretch my skills a little, but I have to have that color. I just have to have that color. And my borders are white though. My borders are white, and that will make these colors pop. But now what I'm going to do is I want to come in with my pen, and I think I'm going to use my Pen Plus Gear, which is a permanent pen. And I'm actually going to turn my page as if I were sketching. And let's see what I can do here. I think I have a little bit more control when I do pen work. With my brush, the brush kind of leads it to where it wants to go. And with my pen, I have a little bit more control with my lines here, and maybe up in here. I want a really thin line. I have to turn it this way. I want a thin line up in here. Sort of like that. It doesn't have to be a perfect line. But there's a ribbon underneath. There's a ribbon underneath of this spool. There's another spool. And then I'm going to need to get the dimension on this too. Maybe in there. I think I'm pretty happy with it. It doesn't have to be perfecto. It just has to be fun. And I think I've had my fun. So let's get my Sharpie out, and let's take the clips off, take the wax paper off. Take the wax paper off. I'm done with that pen. And we'll leave the wax paper in here. Let's start by taking this off if I can. Oh, I might have to take this page off first, because I taped it last. I taped this page last. I guess you need to kind of go in the order that you put your tape on, which means when I tape my next pages, I'm going to remember what order I put them on. Let's just pull this off. There. And I'm not saving my tape. Let's see, I think I put this one, bottom one on. Yeah. Over that. I'm not saving the tape. It's too much trouble. It's just painter's tape. Got a little blue edge there. Okay. I got a little blue edge. Let's tear this. Take this off. There we go. We can take this one off. Both of them. Ooh. Is that tape? No, I think that's... Oh, it is tape. That blue edge is this tape. That blue edge will come off. Yay! No more blue edge. And I think this one's next. And here's the deal. I know now not to make it folded over on the ends there. Yeah, it's on my hand. Yeah. It's always fun to do the big reveal, isn't it? It's always fun to do the big reveal. I got two pages taped together there. How did I do that? There we go. Alrighty. So there are my scissors, and here are my ribbon spools. Now I almost feel like coming in with some lines on my scissors. There's nothing saying I can't. There's nothing saying I can't put some defining lines on here. Just a few little corrective lines. There's nothing saying you can't do that if it makes you feel better. Okay, so I'm just going to put scissors. Really, they're Tim Holtz scissors, but we'll just put scissors. And this is Meridel Abrams, my name. And March, this is day 4, so it's March 4. I'm signing it the day of the prompt, 2020. And the prompt was splatter. And this is day 5, which is ribbon spools. And I should probably put those in quotes, ribbon spools. And sign it. And March 5. 2020. Get rid of all of this. And let's see if I put quotes on. No, let's put quotes around this. Put quotes around my titles. And I'm going to leave this wax paper in here. I'm really ready for another sheet. I could start using the back here or the bottom, but I think I'm only on day 5 out of what, 31? And I've already filled up one sheet. Ooh, let's empty the water. So, yeah, am I happy with this or what? Am I happy? Maybe if I do 2 a day, I can get caught up. Because today is the 10th, and I got day 5 done. So I got 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. I'm 5 behind now instead of 6 behind. And if I do 2 tomorrow, I don't know if I'll get 2 tomorrow done because Becky streams tomorrow afternoon. So I'll probably be doing hers, and I have to go run errands tomorrow. So I probably won't get anything done tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow evening I will. We'll see. I think the prompt tomorrow, though, one of them is to sit at a window. So, and I know what I want to do outside my window, so I may skip that prompt and come back to it. I think that's day 6. 6, 7. Oh, you know what? Today's the 10th, 7th, 8, 9, 10. Oh, yeah. All right. Mary's dreaming here. So if I put it right there, can you see it? Maybe move it over a little. Let's get my ribbons out of the way. I'll have to be sure and put those back up on the shelf. Put my ink away. And, yeah, I don't know how I'm going to get a shot of this. Just let the camera take a shot of it. Just like that. And the page will bring it down just a little. There we go. Okie dokie. Well, thank you for watching, and I will see you on the next page. Bye for now.